Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to another episode of the Bridge Broadcast Show. I am your host, Tina Boyle White, and I am excited to be here with you yet again. We are excited about this season. We have great things going on. We're starting, some conversations around health and your wellness, and we'll be giving resources on how you can be better as a person. But I can't do this without the work of WYTV7 Christian Broadcast Network. I'm really grateful to be a part of this team, bringing you information that will impact your life. Well, today is no different. At the Bridge Broadcast Show, we focus on getting you from where you are to where you need to be in life. And we do that through spirit, soul, and body. And we're adding mental and emotional. So we're going to start adding those pieces. So you'll hear more from us this season. And again, it's no different from what we've been doing. I am honored to have Michael and Judi Goldberg join us today. They are from Hugs For Mito. Michael and Judi, welcome.
Thank you.
So nice to be here. Very nice to be here. Thank you for having us today, Tina.
Wow, Michael, when I heard your story, when you shared it with me, I was just amazed. As I'm learning more about health and wellness and coming to understand the mitochondria, I'm with another company that they are doing some research on really, getting to the root of it. And from my understanding, there's really life in the cell and the mitochondria, which most people don't talk about. That's where our life is. Talk to us a little bit about mitochondrial, the mitochondrial disease that you've experienced and how your journey has been. And Judi, chime in at any time, please.
Okay,
Sure.
Great.
Well, as you mentioned, the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell, and mitochondrial disease affects the mitochondria, and your cells comprise your entire being, Tina. So anything from head to toe can be affected. And for me personally, cognitive ability started in my eyes, my muscles, vision loss, my heart, liver, can affect your kidneys. What else has been affected? Diabetes. I have something else called autonomic dysfunction, which is your body's inability to regulate heat, the beats of your heart, and many other things. And what makes it such a difficult diagnosis is that every patient can present differently. And it's primarily, believe it or not, a pediatric and children's disease. But adults like myself are being diagnosed more and more every single day. No cure, just the management of symptoms as they come on. And it's taking a lot of lives, and it's tragic, which is why we are doing the work that we're doing and want to save as many patients as we possibly can, Tina.
Michael, I really want to thank you for the work that you're doing. I mean, we think about the sacrifices we make for others, and you happen to be one. You mentioned a lot of things to survive this. The conversation of mitochondria, we just don't hear that. And you said it was a pediatric a disease that comes on. How did you know? I mean, did you go through a lot of tests? How does one know what's happening with their body?
Journey.
It was
a journey.
Judi will tell you it was quite a journey. Go ahead, Judi. I don't want to do all the speaking.
He started
please.
with calling me from work one day that he couldn't see out of his left eye. So then you start with the eye doctor, who then sends you to the neuro-ophthalmologist, who then sends you to the retina specialist. He ended up having a central retinal vein occlusion in his left eye that won't come back, what he lost. So his left lens is primarily just a plastic lens. But that starts from there. And then it took about 3 years to get diagnosed, traveling to hospitals out of state.
We went to Rochester, Minnesota
to the Mayo
Clinic. They missed my diagnosis.
We went around Boston.
Many Boston hospitals here missed my diagnosis. So It was quite the challenge.
It was actually the pulmonary specialist at Brigham and Women's because he had difficulty swallowing. You don't realize that your muscles
and
affect
breathing.
your swallowing, your breathing, and whatnot. So having different tests and whatnot. She said to Michael, "Did you ever think of checking out mitochondrial disease?" And the two of us looked at each other.
We couldn't even pronounce it at the time.
I couldn't say it or spell it for the longest time, but we finally found one. Because where Michael said it was primarily a children's disease, there were pediatric doctors that wouldn't see Michael. He's a big kid.
Yeah, I'm a big kid, yeah.
But we found one who's wonderful out of Mass General who sees all patients and does other rare diseases, not just mitochondrial disease. But after many tests, blood tests, biopsies and whatnot, finally came down after 3 years. It was a journey.
Do you know if there was anything that prompted it? Was there genetics? What can you help our audience know about this mitochondrial disease?
That's an excellent question, Tina. In doing a lot of family history, we can trace back that a lot of it is hereditary through the mother, although father can also be a factor. And it's probably something I had as a baby. I had pyloric stenosis as a baby. I was operated on a couple months old. My mother will tell you my first couple months were extremely difficult. And growing up, I also had a lot of difficulties, what doctors would explain as growing pains. But they didn't know anything about mitochondrial disease when I was growing up. Okay, mind you, I'm 55 years old. So a lot of it is more, it's recent science. And when my mitochondrial disease got extremely aggressive, I was in my later 40s. So, yes, mitochondrial disease has been around probably for 20 plus years now. But in my particular case, they're learning. And I guess getting back to your question in the genetics, they found a gene in me called DNAM2, DNM2. And that is the genetic component that let my doctor know that, yes, it's definitely mitochondrial disease.
That's really amazing because, it's not every day we would go and get a genetic exploration of our family and ourselves. It just doesn't happen. And as you mentioned, all these things happening, that are happening in your body, going from when you were a child, you said Paloma. I can't even pronounce it.
Pyloric stenosis. It's funny because the standard joke is, and God, may my father rest in peace, but it's the passageway to your stomach and whatnot isn't large enough for food to pass through. So your projectile vomit, nothing will go down. So I was very colicky. They don't know what's wrong with you. All I did was cry. And my father's standard joke is that, look what they did. They opened it up so wide that, I'm a bigger guy now. So that was my father's big joke is that, all I do was eat. And that's why I'm so big now. So that was always my father's joke.
Wow.
Is that I ate him out of house and home.
Wow. Unbelievable. This is just such a interesting topic that, you've shared with us. You mentioned that there's some research going on. Can you talk a little bit about the research that's going on with this?
My doctor, is doing amazing research. She, has done a study which we helped fund regarding mitochondrial disease and pregnant women and babies, which, is out there. I want people to know that, yes, my core disease is mitochondrial disease, but she's also in her researching other rare diseases. Exactly what those are, I can't tell you. I'm not 100% privy as to what those, may be, but I guess I want people to know she's not just a one-trick pony, but She's also president of the Mitochondrial Medicine Society, and that's growing. What that is a network and a standard for, I guess, doctors and hospitals. It's a network, that is countrywide, and it's a place where mitochondrial disease patients and I believe rare disease patients can go and get their medical care across the country, and
but get the same care.
But get the same care, exactly, no matter where you go. So they're trying to, I guess, tighten things up, for lack of a better word, and make their standards more rigid and not as loose, so patients can get a firm diagnosis, and it won't take as long and won't have the journey that I had to diagnosis. So it's a good thing. I want people to know it's a good thing.
Wow, that's really good to know. And I'm just wondering, the difference between a rare disease and an autoimmune disease. Can you speak to that? And if you can't, it's okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you're asking necessarily the right guy, I think, because I think a lot of them, kind of go hand in hand, because I do have autoimmune disease as well. I have arthritis as a component. How that kind of goes with rare disease, I honestly don't know. I'm going to be, I guess, blunt and honest with you, Tina. Yes, I know what I have. I remember my doctor sitting me down and saying, Michael, you have a rare disease. And, Judi was in the room as well. I'm going back. I think my diagnosis came in 2014. And it's a sobering blow when you hear that. And, I know a lot. And there's probably many patients out there like myself that know a ton more than I do. They can name you genes and, genetic components. And I guess I will tell you that, I can't do all of that. Maybe I bury my sand in the head a little bit as far as, that's concerned. I guess I feel that maybe I don't need to know. I know I have a rare disease. I know it's not good. I know that, I have to take care of my health. There's a lot of, things I can do.
What pertains to it.
You know what I mean? I can better myself in a lot of ways, and that's what I do for myself, and I try to do for other people.
Thank you so much for that. Before we go and take a commercial break, I want to ask Judi, 2014, how has this impacted you all's life?
It really, it's, if I look back and come to the present time, I think it's made me a stronger person, because you just have to get in the gear that you're in control, and because I'm the one who calls the doctors, makes the appointments, take them to the appointments, and also a lot of things he doesn't remember. So you always have to take notes and things when you go to doctor's appointments. But hey, listen, is it what we planned for down the road? No, it's not what you planned for. But you know what? The best laid plans. And you know what? I think ultimately it's made us better people. I think it's made us, I would say more patient, but I'm not quite sure we have the patience under our belt yet. But no, I think it's a wake-up call that you almost kind of like have to switch into gear. And I learned my famous mantra was take one day at a time. We're planners. We could plan our whole life, in the next 20, 30 years. But you know what? You don't know. He's at a good point now, but you don't know in 5, 10 years, are you going to have a relapse, so to speak, and have to change gears again? So you're going to keep on your toes, but kind of, don't get too far ahead of yourself sometimes.
Well, Judi, that's a great message for us as we go on our commercial break. Folks, we want to take one day at a time, because you may be encountering a wake-up call that causes you to be sobered up, and you just have to know how to deal with it. And when we come back, Michael and Judi is going to talk to us about the incredible work that they're doing and how they're making an impact, and how you can learn more about dealing with any rare disease or a rare disease, especially related to mitochondrial disease. We'll be right back.
Mr. Happy Living here. I love good things made by good people. That's why I love Casandrino's oil, made from olives soaked in the Grecian sun for months and picked by hand with care. You'll love it too. Grab a bottle today and get 50% off your first subscription order. Shop the World Wide Web at casandrinos.com. That's KASANDRINOS.com. Use coupon code HAPPYLIVING50 and I'll donate 15% off every order placed during the month of September to WYTV7.
Well, welcome back to the Bridge Broadcast Show. You're coming into the show where we're with Michael and Judi Goldberg, and we're talking about Hugs for Mito and the journey of Michael Goldberg. You know, before we went on break, Michael, we talked about the incredible work, and we were leading into the incredible work you're doing. I want to have you share with the audience the incredible work that you're doing with Hugs for Mito. Can you please share with us what is that and what are you up to?
Judi, why don't you take this one away?
What are you up to?
What are you up to?
Well, we started out with our nonprofit. We first started out in the apparel business. We started, as you can see, we're always sporting, whether it be hoodies, t-shirts, hats, sweatpants, and we started that on the online store on our website. And then we've started, we're fortunate enough to have a lot of wonderful family and friends that have put on a lot of events on our behalf. We've had fundraisers, we've had, birthday celebrations, we've had golf tournaments. We have another one coming up in October from the Mass PHCC, which is the Massachusetts Plumbing and Heating and Contractors Association. This is the second year in a row that they've done their golf tournament and to help out 3 nonprofits. And we've been fortunate enough to get a third of that take, which has been wonderful. Down the road, I know, of course, beyond the pandemic and whatnot, we'd love to do a 5K race or walk or whatever, but that's, it has to be in the works in the back of our head with all that's going on in the world today.
We're doing wonderful work with Kindest.
Kindest, yes.
And there's a concert coming up called Dulcitera on September 21st. That's going to be a 12-hour extravaganza of musicians and going to be an incredible take. You can find that on our website and on our Facebook page and our Instagram page as well. So really looking forward to that. World Music Development is sponsoring that. So another great event that we have going on.
He's also doing a writer's camp almost.
Yeah, writers camp is part of that as well. So, I mean, it's really an incredible opportunity for writers to get involved that are writing music and new young artists. So, I mean, we're always trying to present something. We have similar to one of your huge online shopping malls that ends in smile, shop.com. Right. We have many stores that you can shop. You can find that on our site as well.
You save money, and some money goes to Hugs for Mito.
So we're always trying to bring something to our supporters.
What's your website? Go ahead.
www.hugsformito.org.
Hugs, HUGS. FORMITO.org. All right. You want to make sure you get it because you're doing so many great things. I want to take you back because you both are passionate about supporting people. I don't know if there was an organization that was there for you when you went through this. And part of what I wanted to see, Judi, was, as you came into this, how did it alter your lives? I mean, and why is the fundraisers, why were they important? I'll let you tell it. I could tell it, but why was that critical? Why is it important to have funds?
Well, when he first started on a personal level, when he first started with different symptoms, and again, they treat you symptoms as they come. There's no cure, no medication, so they treat it as it comes. He, at some point, the most recent setback was that he lost his ability to walk stairs. So we're in a 3-level townhouse. And you know what? It's not so easy just to pick up and move and to find the right thing and the expenses and all that stuff. So we had Michael's class, his high school class actually did a fundraiser for him, and they raised enough money that we have 3 chairlifts in our house now that bring him into the house, upstairs, and then up again. There are videos out there on the website on Facebook from ages ago that you see Michael crawling upstairs. It's pretty sad to see.
Sobering, to use a wonderful word that you used, Tina. And I mean, I've come a long way. The man that you see today has worked extremely hard to get where I'm at today.
This is in more recent times.
Yeah, this is a more recent times, but I can lose all of that ability tomorrow with this disease. There are no guarantees.
Wow. That's really amazing to have a supportive network. And I believe that's what Hugs for Mito is all about. Really helping make those differences in the lives of people. And, knowing what you've gone through, I just know your passion is such that you don't want other people to go through that as well. So tell me a little bit about how Hugs for Mito help other people not go through what you went through.
Well, Hugs for Mito, first of all, there's a beautiful website that Michael created that he just told you the website that he created himself that I'll tell you you can go online and you can chat live with him. Michael will tell you he's not a doctor. He's not a medical professional, so he doesn't dispense medical information, but he can certainly guide you, no matter where you're calling from, guide you to a specific, maybe a medical professional or a group, and there's so many different avenues on social media for groups, but otherwise, Michael's phone rings, people call him. So it's giving, it's advising, I've kind of lost my train of thought here.
Okay, I think I know where you're going. We want people to know our address is out there.
The phone number
Telephone is out there.
We're available.
You are not putting us out. If you are experiencing something, you're not sure what's going on. I get phone calls all the time. You are not putting me out. Pick up the phone and call me. Even if it's just family has a little something going on, call me. And
he'll try and point them into the right direction.
And I mean, I guess just to add a little something, why don't you tell them about the new venture we're getting into and how we want to help someone? We're
trying to get into the durable medical equipment because over the years, Michael started out with multiple canes to try and find the right one that works best for him. He's not a little guy either. The walkers. At some point, he had to get a mobility scooter because he wasn't able to do the distance. He was able, in the house to walk from one room to the other with a walker or a cane, sure. But once you go outside, then you're in trouble. So it all stems. You have to get the vehicle to make sure that you have the right access to put in a mobility scooter that I can lift. So you have to weigh the odds there. Then so he's trying to, it's like paying forward. Giving back that, there are a lot of people out there that I'm sure, and, a cane is an additional expense, a walker, a scooter, they're crazy prices. You know what? So we're trying to, besides giving money to Mass General Hospital, to Dr. Kara's fund for research and whatnot, we've also tried to veer off a little bit towards the durable medical equipment for someone who is in the need of it and that isn't able to provide it for themselves or a loved one. That we'd love to be able to do that from Hugs for Mito to help you and make your life easier. And if we can do that, that's a big pleasure for us.
That's awesome because that leads to another piece that you are doing, the resources, the medical equipment, the supplies, assistive devices as one of your main priorities with Hugs for Mito. That's absolutely amazing. And being a resource, people need to know that you're out there because I know you're committed and passionate about making sure others know and they don't have to go through situations alone. And I know that's one of your priorities.
Right. Oh, most definitely. Because a lot of people, you might be having symptoms and whatnot, but you also might be having family members, unfortunately, that maybe don't get it, don't understand. Because I will tell you, a lot of times when Michael, in the beginning stages, a lot of people practically came out and said, oh, I think it's all in your head. Because it's unfortunate that people aren't familiar with mitochondrial disease. And you have a lot of medical professionals out there that aren't familiar with it, that are learning about it. And they actually enjoy Michael in a hospital because it's almost like having a little guinea pig that's like a dog and pony show, because they all want to come and say, oh, so how'd this start? How are you feeling? What happened to you? And that's how everybody learns. It's all about creating awareness and educating people. And that's what we strive to do.
Well, you have a multi-pronged mission and purpose with Hugs for Mito. I'm so excited to have you on the show. As we wrap up, I would like for you to share with the audience what's going on, what's coming up next, and how can they contact you. And then Judi or Michael, share your final words. So I'll tell you.
You want to take it away?
What's coming up for you two?
Fundraiser-wise, we have the Mass PHCC Golf Tournament is coming up October 7th. So we cross our fingers that they have a nice turnout and a successful day.
We have Dulce Terra coming up September 21st. Mitochondrial Disease Awareness Week actually starts tomorrow. And you can reach us at www.hugsformito.org.
Right.
We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. We're on Pinterest now.
Twitter.
I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Twitter. Just look for Hugs for Mito. We're out there. I'm on MeWe now. So we just did our first reel on Instagram. So
check us out.
Check us out. We're out there. We want to help you, the Mito community, the rare community, and we're doing some incredible work, so get in touch with us.
That's awesome. Judi, final words. Final encouraging thought.
Check out our site. Listen to Michael's posts. Read his posts. Follow along our journey, and we really hope to make it a better place for a lot of sick people.
Awesome. Michael, final thoughts.
Final thoughts. Don't be scared off.
Right.
If you can do something and help us, do something. Always tell people every little dollar, every little cent helps. If you can't do anything, that's okay too.
Offer your time.
Take a look around. Offer to volunteer. And just know that we love you all. And we wish everyone good health.
Yes, those are great words. Thank you so much. It has been such a pleasure spending.
Tina, thank
you for having us.
Thank you.
This is great.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. And we, our intention is really to educate people, and you have certainly educated us. You certainly can find more from Michael and Judi on hugsformito.org, www.hugsformito.org. It has been certainly a pleasure here educating you.
Pleasure here as well.
Yes. Thank you guys again. I've been your host, Tina Boyle-White. Find me on wytv7.org, The Bridge, and tell us how you like this show and what you've learned. Engage with us. And you know what? I'm going to take the words from Michael and Judi Goldberg today. Take one day at a time, and I will see you soon. Bye for now.